Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new Creature Commandos show review video. Or today I am going to talk about episode 6 and yes 7 of the Creature Commandos, which is actually, which are actually the last episodes of this series because, I want to talk about them in one big video. So alright, episode 6 released I guess a week-ish ago. So alright, let's talk about episode 6. But first, let's roll the intro. So, episode 6. In this episode, you have certain characters, like the main character, I suppose, Dr. Phosphorus, aka Alexander James Sartorius. Sartorius, I believe? I'm not quite sure, something like that. A scientist turned into a radioactive skeleton after a tragic experiment. Rupert Thorne, a Gotham City mobster who funds Dr. Sartorius' research. Yes, he's very, very menacing. We have the bride, a character hiding in Pokalistan. Nina Mazursky, another character hiding in Pokalistan, together with the bride. And they eventually also go into this strip club, I guess. You know what I mean, right? They stumble upon this house with certain girls. And it was very interesting to see, not gonna lie. But they have their little side quest in that episode too, but obviously the main character is Dr. Phosphorus. I really like his name, to be honest. So there we go. Weasel, a member of the Creature Commandos who befriends a pack of wolves. He's also a character who has a little side story in this episode. So right, themes, tragedy and transformation. The episode explores the tragic backstory of Dr. Phosphorus and how he transforms into a supervillain. Corruption and greed highlights the corrupt nature of Rupert Thorne and his greed for nuclear secrets. Justice and retribution is also led by one brief cameo, which is Batman. Yes, Batman makes a small appearance and underscores the theme of justice and retribution in Gotham City, where he actually stops Dr. Phosphorus, aka Alexander James Sartorius, but also Dr. Phosphorus kills Rupert Thorne because Rupert Thorne actually made him this radioactive skeleton. So there you go, that's when all of Rupert's belongings go to Dr. Phosphorus and he becomes a mobster too. So there you go, the plot and story. This episode titled Parietal Skeleton. Obviously, this episode delves into the origins of Dr. Phosphorus. It begins with a flashback to Gotham City, where Dr. Sartorius is conducting research on nuclear fusion to cure cancer. Obviously, he is funded by Rupert Thorne, who wants to use the research for his own gain. When Sartorius tries to deceive Thorne by providing fake data, Thorne kills his family and traps him in his own machine, turning him into Dr. Phosphorus. In the present, Dr. Phosphorus is on the run in Pokalistan and encounters the bride and Nina Mazursky, who are hiding from the Pokalistan army. Meanwhile, Weasel befriends a pack of wolves but is hunted by memories of a blonde girl who he couldn't save. Back in the United States, Rick Flag is in a coma and Amanda Waller and John Economist worry about Cersei's premonition, right, of World War III. The episode is also features a brief appearance by Batman, who arrests Dr. Phosphorus after shutting down his criminal activities. So yes, and Eric Frankenstein is also on his way to go to Pokalistan. So there we go. This was, I guess, the little short review of episode 6. I really liked it. For example, the setting was very interesting, like I said, in that certain house with the girls. I really like that Nina Mazursky, which is like an aquatic being, and also Mrs. Bride, obviously go into this house. Because, I'm not quite sure, there was a bit of, I guess, it was a bit of ironicness, I believe. Like, we have these beautiful girls next to creatures that aren't really that beautiful in a way, but deep down they're still human, right? I believe. Or in some way or shape or form, they're kind of humanly. I also really liked the story of Dr. Phosphorus, and yeah, you know what? Something with radioactivity and with atoms and stuff like that. It's very cool, to be honest, and his backstory is really sad too. So there we go. But I also really like the ending shot, the ending scene, I guess, where all the characters meet up again with obviously Weasel and Dr. Phosphorus and the Bride and Nina Mazursky, and they actually go to this castle. But then obviously there is this obviously the song playing. I think it's Hey Clown, which is a really nice song. And obviously they have this slow motion walk, which is so iconic for James Gunn to do. But yeah, this song, I'll play it a bit for you guys because I really liked the lyrics of it.
Everybody say, hey, clown, we're gonna put you in the ground. We had it all, and then you blew it all away.
So right, that was episode 6. Let's talk about episode 7. Let's go.
Episode 7 was called A Very Funny Monster. This episode focused on Nina Mazursky's backstory and how she was actually transformed into this aquatic creature. So her lungs were actually designed, or I guess, I suppose, born outside her body. I'm not quite sure. Her father actually experimented on her, and her lungs actually became aquatic, and she herself became aquatic itself. So there we go. She eventually also got into this normal high school, which is, it's not great for a I guess a teen to go into a high school. You need to make friends, you need to work on yourself. But the thing is, she needed to work on 3 different things. She needed to work on making friends, she needed to work on herself, but she was also an aquatic creature. So I guess it was kind of bad for her, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I had a real, I really felt quite, I think she felt lonely, and I think that's pretty much it. I felt a sort of, sympathy for her, and that's pretty alright. She was an aquatic creature, and I think that's totally understandable. And all the other persons in her school were normal humans, and she was just a fish. She was laughed at for being a sort of frog. But yeah, I don't know. But obviously, we get little side cuts, I guess, to the normal story, where she actually needed to fight, which is the princess of Bukhalistan. And yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I got very emotional because she died. Spoilers alert. Yeah, I did not see it coming. It was no. I thought she was going to make it, but she didn't. Unfortunately, Weasel tried to stop her, but alas, she died. Obviously, Mrs. Bride herself, the bride eventually got into a conversation with Princess, the princess herself, and the bride shot her in the head, and she is dead too. Yep. So 2 persons died in this episode, which is quite unfortunate, but it's a story, man. Yeah, but I felt really bad for Nina, not gonna lie. But alright. The bride got back to obviously Belrev, where she got escorted to a new team. Obviously, Creature Commandos itself, a lot of people, went and have gone, but Dr. Phosphorus, the bride, this bad creature, and this, I guess, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's like a totem guy, this guy with the mask, and King Shark are now the new Creature Commandos, which is very, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I really liked this show. It was very entertaining, very fun, and I would love to see how how it's going to be in the second season of it. So ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed these reviews. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I really made tons of work of them because I really love this show and I really love making these videos for you guys. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.